Hey, what's up? I'll be showing you how to fix a Samsung HE1 error code. Now, this code might come up when you start to wash, and then you get this HE1 error. This will apply to most Samsung washing machines. Now, I know this one looks like it's an older generation, but these faults carry across to the newer models as well. So this is going to cover all the models for Samsung, what the HE1 error means for your front load Samsung washing machine. So don't worry if yours looks different from this one, the principle is the same. What you're going to need is you're going to need a Phillips head screwdriver and a flathead screwdriver. Those things will help you to undo what we need to undo. And also you need a number 10 socket on a drive or on a ratchet. Whatever you have will do the trick. But most importantly, you need these two things. Now, HE1 error is a fault with your heating. So it's the washing machine telling you something's going on with the heating. So to really confirm that it's the heater, you can actually pause it or turn it off when it says HE1 error. Then you start a cycle, like a quick 15 or 30-minute wash, and select a cold wash only. That's because these have built-in heaters. Now, with all the other cycles that are above 40 degrees, this built-in heater switches on and heats up the water in your washing machine. So if you get the HE1 error, it means that it's not been able to heat up the water on its own, partly maybe because of the wiring or because the heater is now faulty. So this is more common along like older generation washing machines, but can happen to newer ones as well. So it'll be good for you to know this error. And hey, as we are talking about the HE1 error, there are many other error codes that are going to come up on your Samsung washing machine. So be sure to hit up that subscribe button, as I do post a lot of videos with errors that Samsung washers come up with. Not only Samsung, but Bosch, LG, Miele. So whatever you have or whatever your friends have, hey, I'll have it straight in your inbox. I've got many more videos like these ones showing you how to fix these step by step for anyone, saving you money, time, and a lot of headaches. So let's jump right into it. What you're gonna need is you're gonna need a new heater. So if you don't have one already, maybe the first thing that I need you to do is probably check the wiring at the back, make sure that there's no loose wire, but most of the times it's the heater that needs replacement. To access the heater, obviously we want to make sure that we're turning off the electricity at the power point, not only turning it off, but actually unplugging it and setting it aside so that you don't make the mistake of thinking it's off and then going to touch the heating element or any electrical connections in your washing machine. You'll get a shocker. So make sure you safety first. Make sure you disconnect your power cable and remove it. Actually remove it physically from the plug, from the wall. Set it aside. Then we're going to work where we need to work from the back of your washing machine. To do this, you're going to need maybe to disconnect your water pipes and your drainage pipes. But if you've got space like me here, you can just turn the washing machine around, which is what I'm going to do. Most Samsung washing machines will have a panel at the back like that one. This is where we're going to access that heating element from. On some Samsung models, you might need to access the heating element through the front. Either way, you need to access the heating element and change that. This process is similar for most Samsung washers. They usually put it at the back. So you're going to need your drive. So there'll be 4 screws. 1, 2, 3, 4. Go ahead and remove those 4. Just Phillips head. Just put them somewhere where you won't lose them. Because if you don't tighten them all, it'll start rattling after you're done. So you want to make sure that you put them somewhere safe. To remove this cover, it's as simple as pulling it out and up. So out and then up. And then you just set it aside. I mean, having a look in there thinking, oh my gosh, where is the heater? So the heater is, it's pretty simple. The heater is right over here. It's right over here. The easiest way to see where your heating element is you'll see a lot of wires going to it. So there'll be about probably 2 wires or 3 wires and an earth wire going to it. That is your heating element, and there's usually a 10mm nut holding the heater in place. So we're going to go right ahead and remove the nut. There'll be a nut on here that you remove. That comes off. Then, of course, disconnect your electrical plugs. Just wiggle out, don't try to force it too much. And the earth, and of course this thermostat, this temperature sensor, take it out. All right, and there's one more. There'll be a screw covering this plastic protective cover. You want to make sure you take that off as well. Go. That plastic cover usually just comes off. Well, there's another screw as well, so it's held in place by 2 screws, one at the top here and one at the bottom here. To remove it, just undo them. And it comes off just like that. You can remove the belt as well. That will give you better access. To remove the belt, just hold it and move it and pull it towards you, and it'll just slip out. That way you've got better access and you're not fighting belts and stuff. So set that to the side, and as you can see, this is our heating element. You want to make sure we take that out. This is where your flathead screwdriver will come handy, because you actually need to pry it out a bit, pry it out. So just be careful because it's plastic. So it's prying it out. Take your time, no rush. There you go. So there's a first stage that it pulls out. Then the second stage is there's a rubber seal holding everything together there. I'm sure you can see it in there. You want to make sure that you remove that as well, because that's, you're going to have to peel it out as well. Same thing you did with the other one, because that's causing issues for it to come out. So you're going to need to sort of pry it out gently. Now I know buying a new heater, you can always just get your model number from your washing machine. So your model number will be somewhere on the back or on the front. Then you can go on eBay, type in your model number and say heating element. Or you can have a look online. A lot of people usually dismantle these and sell the parts secondhand individually. So you can save yourself a few bucks, like they'll still be good for ages. Now just have a look at that, eh? That heating element is not working. You can see how blue it is, the change in color there. That means like it's overheated at one point. And yes, that's why I was getting an HE1 error. So you want to make sure that you're changing this, because this is not good. Yeah, second hand one, cost you maybe about 20-30 bucks, then your washing machine is as good as new. But of course, if you want to do it properly, get a brand new one, put it in. This is my brand new second-hand one. I'm not even going to clean it because it will get cleaned once I do like a drum clean function in there. And also, I don't want to take off the coatings that are, I don't want to just damage it. It's working, I got it working. I'm just going to put it in like that. To put it back in, you want to make sure you separate the rubber seal and this metal bit. Then, of course, you want to make sure it's all clean in there. Then, inside in the washer itself, there is a bracket that it goes into. You want to make sure it's lining up with that, because if it doesn't, it'll start hitting on the drum as it's turning. And one way to check if it's not like on an angle and hasn't gone in the bracket is to actually turn this spindle, turn it, and if you can hear it hitting on it, that means that you haven't put it in properly. So if you actually put your head down and have a look, you can actually see that it's in. So pretty good so far. And obviously you want to make sure that these pins are facing downwards, you know, they're not facing up or anything else like that. Then, well, the next part is you want to be like pushing this in as well with the screwdriver when you put it in, the rubber seal. And usually if you get some, maybe a little bit of grease, it'll help it to go in. But if you don't have it, then do it this hard way. It'll eventually go in. Take your time. Quick handed tip for all your, it will take you ages to try to get this thing in. You need to have it on the right angle. As you can see, mine, I've sort of leant it towards like on a lot of sort of like 45-degree angle. Like on the, if you've got a wall, just lean it up against the wall. That way you've got a better angle to be like looking in there and trying to put in that seal. Because as I said before, that seal needs to go in first before you try to put in all the other things, like before you try to put in the steel bit. So if you put it on an angle like this, then it makes it so much easier than when it's not on an angle. So make sure you put it on a 45-degree angle and then work from it like that. And I suggest getting a little torch like this one. I've got a little like torch that helps me to see what you're doing. You can use your iPhone if you don't have one, so that will work as well. Once you've got that done, that's the hardest bit. You're almost there. What you'd need to do then is you'd probably need to put back, well, just make sure this goes in all the way, and then put back that 10mm nut. Now here's something that you want to remember is that's a seal for all the water that's going to come out. So you want to make sure it's nice and tight and it's not like going to leak. And usually I just leave this cover off until I've put it on the water and I've run it and I've had a look and I can see it's not dripping. As you can see, like if it starts dripping, then there's your electrical connections here for your motor. Obviously you don't want water going in there, so you want to make sure that you do it right, that it doesn't start leaking. Obviously we're going to put back our cap that goes over this. Pretty simple to put back. Just line up the holes and it should like sort of just go in. There you go. Get your 2 screws, put them in there, So remember, one goes on the left and one on the right. Plugging everything back in where you found it. If you don't remember how it was, you can always rewind this video or take pictures as you go. But mostly rewind this video. Like, it won't go in where it's not supposed to go in. So they're sort of or I can say mistake proof. To put this back, first line up the belt on the motor. So on the motor here, you want to line it up with the carbon marks. Usually they're black, and you want to line it up just where it was before, and you put it over this pulley, and once you've got it over that pulley, start turning it clockwise, well, anti-clockwise. There you have it, and it's on. So you just, it's back on, just like that. And it might squeak a bit. If it's not in the right position, you can always grab it on near the motor and then turn it clockwise. And then that way it'll go where it's supposed to go. Yeah. I'm happy with that. Then put back the back cover. And of course, as I've said, you can always leave the back cover off so that you can test it to make sure the water's not dripping there. And then once you're sure there's no water dripping, you can always put the cover back on. If you have any questions, or if you ever get stuck at any stage during this repair process, be sure to leave a comment in the comment section below, and I will be more than happy to help. To put this back in, you simply push it in, well, up and down. So there's clips here. So there's a clip there and a clip there, and they just go into that. They just go into the housing of the washing machine, this metal housing, and then you've got your 4 screws that are gonna hold it in place. Hope it's been helpful. Thanks for tuning in. Till next time. Cheers.